The Fed cut the interest rate today by 0.5 percentage point, going to alleviate inflation for a lot of people. And so if you have any reaction to that, we'd love it.
Well, look, my reaction is my reaction is a 0.5 point is nothing compared to what American families have been dealing with for the last 3 years.
And how would you know, JD Vance? How would you know what American families are dealing with? You have your money, Silicon Valley. You got that boost to, I won't say steal the election to become a U.S. senator, but the money dump from Mitch McConnell and his bourbon. That's why we have you. So to most people, interest rates being cut would be a wonderful thing. Isn't that good news? I think it's great news for the economy. Everyone across the board sees rate cuts as pretty good thing, commonly, though, understood, right? This is a positive sign. Nope. Following the news that the Fed would at least cut interest rates, Vance and his MAGA audience, they just do whatever they're doing. Now, boo. Do you think they hold up boo signs? They might. I mean, I've seen that happen, particularly when you're doing a movie. I've done some acting, and you're a part of the big crowd or something in the stadium. And when they want you to cheer, they can't, go, okay. So they hold up little signs and you react accordingly. And that's what it felt like to me. Why are you booing at something that can be helpful to you, people in that audience? They balked at the positive development, which even the interviewer acknowledged would ease inflation. While Vance says it's too small of a cut, his running mate said the opposite. And I wondered, do these guys, Trump said, I don't really talk to him, and now we know why. I guess it shows the economy is very bad to cut it by that much, assuming they're not just playing politics, Trump said, referring to the central bank. The economy would be very bad, or they're playing politics. One or the other. But it was a big cut. Daily Beast with another throwaway quote from Trump. There is one other angle, the GOP is going to latch on to. They're also saying it's politically motivated. Senator Tuberville, he's back, was the one who made that argument. Let's put that up. Proud of federal government. Mickey Bowman for bucking Jay Powell. Fed's drastic rate cut is shamelessly political. Our nation's central bank has no business moving rates this close to an election and is clearly trying to tip the balance in favor of Kamala Harris. But I thought she was too stupid to even work with something. I thought she's so stupid, according to Trump and his cronies, and Tuberville's one, to even capitalize on something good. So why would it even matter? Okay. Maz, I want you to talk about why the base, again, and I really want you to answer it, even though it seems rhetorical, would boo at something that could help ease their financial pain, even just a little bit. Why? Is this indoctrination? What is this?
Sharon, I could analyze it, but I liked your concept that maybe they just had signs there.
I think that's right.
At some point, you got to scratch your head and go, why are they booing lower costs? I don't get it.
Yeah, they had to hold up the signs because otherwise they'd be asleep. You might be right. And that may be easier than look at that.
For 4 years, they've been saying lower costs, lower costs, lower costs. We go, okay, here's some lower costs. Boo! Wait, what? You wanted lower costs. You just got lower costs. It's pretty mind-boggling. I think that, first of all, there's a few things at play. First of all of this other stuff, the immigrants, the economy, all of this stuff, it gives a lot of these people the permission to be mean and be bigots and let out their internal dislike and distaste and distrust of brown people and immigrants and all that stuff. So I think a lot of these things are a facade. The economy's bad, and it's because of the immigrants. The economy's bad, and it's because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are communists, and black people are taking your jobs, and Mexicans are doing this, and so I think that some of that is that's what it is. Is it so? It's going to be a complaint culture, grievance culture, no matter what, because it allows them then to be racist in whatever way deep down inside they want to be. I also think that it's pretty rich that these people are complaining about economy, but then Tommy Tuberville very openly is saying, you know what, slow down. The Fed has been talking about this rate cut now for months, if not years. We knew it was coming. We said, if the economy does this, like if the jobs report are here, and if inflation is here, the Fed will start cutting rates. We've been talking about that. We knew it was coming. I knew this was coming several months ago when they kept saying the September date, something's coming. Is it a quarter point? Is it a half point? We don't know. So we knew it was coming. But Tommy Tuberville would rather have the Fed hold off until the new year, until after the election, which to him is nice and dandy. But to the person who's struggling to just lower their payments by a little bit so that they can survive, you're running people into bankruptcy because of your politics. So once again, you can flip it right back on them. They're hypocrites. They are lost, and they're just using all of these things. And JD Vance, by the way, real quickly, is smart enough to know all this. He is actually pure evil. Whereas, Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Jim Jordan are just kind of dumb.
Yeah.
This guy's actually smart and is evil. And he, like you said, he used Peter Thiel to win that Senate seat. And he is, very ambitious, and he'll say and do whatever he wants, like we saw with the immigrants eating pet thing. So he is a really bad human being. And the more he talks, the less I like and trust him.
Yeah. He's very dangerous, and I do believe that, I don't know if he's pure evil, but he's channeling evil. He's been doing it for a good number of years. But again, I am fascinated and afraid of my fellow Americans, neighbors perhaps, I hope there are not too many on my street, who just allow themselves to be twisted into a pretzel, even though the obvious is right in front of them. This is a good thing. My Yorkie got out twice in 2 days. Do you know, not once did I have a thought that someone was putting him on a bun ready to consume him? That didn't even cross my mind because it's not a real story. The Haitians are not on this street looking for our pets to eat them. Didn't give it a second thought. But yet there are others who go all out of their way. They had to take the L train over here and then jump off and take the F back downtown and get all twisted up. And when they're in a rural area, even though they live in the city, they think, well, that was a successful trip. But it's not. It's just a trip. It's crazy. And
Sharon, real quickly, who you should be afraid of with your pets is Republican governors, because apparently they shoot their dogs.
He wrote about it.
So if you live near a Republican governor, do not let your dog out. They will shoot it. A
gravel pit, and then she and was proud of it. Where's she been? You notice how she wrote about it, went on a book tour. She thought she was so clever. And I don't even know, is she around? Maybe she's out of the country. Trying to get her
who knows
dastardly reputation back. Before we wrap up this one, though, I do want to introduce you to one more piece of context. Americans are aware of inflation rates were already at a post-pandemic low about a week prior to the rate cut. It was announced that August's inflation rate was 0.2%, bringing the 12-month inflation rate to a 3-year low of 2.5%. So words matter. Context is, everything, I think. And I don't know. If you want the truth, it's there for you to consume. You can go ahead and get a plate, maybe seconds, if you want to consume the truth. If you don't, well, there's lots of that too. We have managed to outperform peer countries, we should tell you, in the GDP as well, growth, while getting inflation under control. I mean, if you look at the chart, you have United States on top, Japan, Canada, France, Italy, UK, Germany. So, these charts aren't everything, but there's something. There's something. Miles, I'll give you the last word.
I just had a audio problem. So can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. And you know what? If you didn't hear what I said, just talk about whatever you want. I just was going to give you the last word on buttoning up this whole economic issue that isn't an issue. It's good news.
Yeah, I would talk about it. I mean, they keep complaining about inflation. And again, it just takes, obviously there's been inflation, prices have been high, but it takes a little bit of research to realize, to remind yourself, we had a pandemic. Many other countries have had inflation. We have really dealt with it, one of the best in the world. And so to blame the Biden administration for all that is, some of their policies probably added to some of the inflation, but some of Trump's policies added to the inflation. Inflation doesn't happen where, the day before one guy changes a policy and the next day it goes into effect. A lot of it has been kind of building. And so people got to look at, if you're looking about economics and you're looking about who's going to do better for you, you really got to look at who's got plans and what their plans are. And we all know that Trump's plan is this tariff thing, which is supposedly going to make other countries pay all these taxes. But the truth is, we end up paying the taxes. The reason washers and dryers were more expensive was because of his tariffs. And so we go back once again to this whole thing of Republicans don't have solutions. They have concepts. He even admitted to it. And then when they do finally implement some concept, we see that in the long run, we end up paying for it. It's not good for us. And that's why I wonder where these people at these rallies don't have any curiosity to do any research to think about any of this stuff. It's nonsensical. The fact that he wants to deport 13 million, 11 million people, do you know what that would do to the price of food and groceries when you have all of these migrant workers who are picking the fruits would be gone? And all of a sudden your strawberries that were $5 a basket are going to be $20 a basket. They don't think about that. They don't have the insight to, and I wish they would. I wish they would be a little more curious.
I do too. But I think you hit on it not long ago. Why don't you just tell us the truth? Yes, they're propping up one culture war after the next, but if you are predisposed and you are afraid and this whole white fear thing and everybody else is an other and they're trying to take what is inherently yours, your birthright, you'll go along with anything. They just keep changing up the cultural war and, you want to fall for it. And I'd rather you just say, when I say all bigots who are present, all racists who are present, can you please say I? And just do it that way. We'd make it much easier. But instead, you want to bob and weave behind stuff that's not even really, doesn't fully cover you. We still see you. And I don't really have to peek around. I see you. But that's just it. You mentioned tariffs. Many people believe Donald Trump, this businessman, all the bankruptcies and the like. When did he become brilliant? Okay. He doesn't really understand how tariffs work. And he hasn't tried to avail himself of the information. I mean, one person, one of these devilish economists who's on the other side of wrong, could just call him and just in 10 minutes and give him even some notes, some cliff notes, and say, hey, listen, this is how you explain it. And so this might not work. So tweak it. You don't even have to say you tweaked it because you're not going to own up to what you said yesterday anyway. But he just won't do it.
Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.